Well, of course, if the senators vote the same way they did today, it will be ratified. But after the Easter recess, some of them may have a change of heart after talking with the people.
How are you going to attack those who voted this time favorably or during the Easter recess? Specifically, what ammunition are you going to use?
I'm not attacking any senators. I'm merely stating my opinion about the treaty.
But you, a very important man in a whole organization of people who are out there trying to get public support for your opinion. And they've been flying airplanes over stadiums saying Howard Baker can save the canal and running television and radio. You going to do more of that sort of thing? Or?
Well, I haven't had anything to do with that kind of thing.
What do you suggest to be? What's the message?
Well, I think the message ought to be to tell the people, continue to tell the people what a very poor treaty this is, how harmful it can be to the national security of this nation.
Well, are you saying...
Public opinion is very strongly against this treaty, and it'll be very strongly against the next treaty in my judgment.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Senator. This is the next one. Okay. Who's next? Oh, we gotta look serious.
Howard Baker can save
Howard Baker can still save the canal.
Did it really? You're kidding. I wouldn't doubt
The
it.
goats with the sign around their necks.
I saw a goat out there with my name on it, and some customers, I'm relieved.
Some opponents of the treaty have said that anybody who supported this treaty
So there was no way that anybody who voted against the neutrality treaty today could politically vote for the other Panama Canal Treaty. Would you agree with that?
No, I would not agree with that. I think that is not the situation.
What was the factor, if there was one primary decisive factor? You talked early on about how this debate, unlike many Senate debates, might really be decisive. You talked about the possible killer amendments, and a no-win political situation, all that. What was it that turned around public opinion, if it did, and turned around the Senate?
I don't think there's any one thing. When we started with the treaties last fall, when the President first submitted them, I doubt if there were 40 votes in the Senate for the treaties. And we've come a long way to 68 votes today. But it's a combination of things. I think a better understanding of what the treaty said. I think the hearings conducted with the Foreign Relations Committee when both sides of the issue were ventilated pretty thoroughly. I think it was that last 55 to 60 to 65 to 68 that came hard, and they came by a combination of circumstances, by accommodation of concerns, by reservation, in some cases by understandings to clarify many aspects of the canal. So after you got past the two leadership amendments, it became a situation where a combination of things produced the final
clearly
result.
a willingness by the White House to give more than perhaps it thought it might have. Perhaps.
Well, I'm not sure of that. You know, that
No way will they get the Republican presidential nomination. That bother you?
I don't know anybody who knows who will get the Republican presidential nomination. I know I don't know, but I don't know anybody else who knows either. And if I sit around in the Senate trying to cast my votes on the basis of who's likely to be nominated for president, I might as well get out, and I'm not going to do that. Now,
well, I think that the debate, though lengthy, was productive, and all senators contributed to the final production that the Senate wrought. Those who opposed the treaties made contributions in that they expressed their concerns, they were debated, and in some instances the treaty or the resolution was changed. So I think it was a reflection of careful meditation, thoughtfulness, and high statesmanship on the part of both the proponents and the opponents.
Senator, what put those final key votes in the yes column?
I think that last week when I began to hold meetings with senators to explore the concerns that existed, and these were not only senators who were not yet committed, but also discussions were held with senators who were already committed. I think as we explored those concerns and developed the language to meet some of the concerns, that this began to break the impasse, and we were able to move beyond the vote count of 59, where it held for quite some time. And as the time for a decision neared, senators made their decision. So I think it was probably a realization on the part of all senators, and particularly those who came over late, that their concerns were being considered and addressed, and that it was in the best interest of the nation that we ratify the treaty.
So the question of conscience or pressure for that final jump over?
Well, now when you talk about pressure, there is tremendous pressure from both sides. Both sides. I have not seen any pressure that would be greater than the pressure to which I have been subjected on the part of those who oppose these treaties.